I think it's really important for women to realize how far we've really come. This is the day after Election Day in 2018, and women won a lot of seats in Congress, but it wasn't that easy before. And I think that some of the younger people don't realize all of the fights that have had to take place to get us to where we are. So I wanted to contribute what was my story. Well, in the 70s, I was raising my children here, and it was wonderful, but I was very bored, and so I started getting involved in community organizations. And I became president of the League of Women Voters and the Coordinating Council and the Friends of the Library. And so I was really involved in the community. And I was appointed to the Planning Commission and decided that I wanted to run for City Council, and that was in 1980. And when I ran for City Council, I had no profession that you would think of as a profession. I was a housewife, and so I decided that I would list my ballot designation as community leader. One of the council members on the council, a man, went to the city attorney and said she cannot use that ballot designation, it's subjective, what makes her a leader in this community. And so I was called by the city and told that I could not use that designation. I was very upset and thought, this doesn't make any sense. There's nothing else I can use that really accurately depicts what I am, and I'm not going to say I'm a housewife, because the ballot designation is a really important way for people to judge you when they're voting. So I fought it. I said I didn't want to change, and several things happened in the intervening period when I had to make that decision. One was the city attorney's wife was a member of the League of Women Voters, and she got angry at him and said, how come you're not letting her use this designation? And so I think he was a little influenced by that. But also we found out that in Northern California, there had been instances where people had been allowed to use that ballot designation. I got a call from the city attorney, and he said, if you submit the reasons why you think you're a community leader, then if you have enough or whatever, then we'll allow you to use that ballot designation. So I did. I submitted a list of accomplishments, the fact that I had been president of 3 organizations and other things I had done, and I was allowed to use ballot designation. But the end of the story is the best part, which is that because of that, I got 2 weeks of free press coverage in the newspaper, because he had created such a controversy that for 2 weeks they had to list all of the reasons why I was a community leader. And I went on to success and was elected, and I think that that particular controversy really helped me get elected. Learned to fight for what I thought was right. I mean, I thought this is really important. It was a woman's issue because women were very active in the community. And Palos Verdes really grew with the hard work of a lot of women who spent their days taking care of their children and juggling a lot of community organizations. So that should be recognized, and I was going to help fight for that to be recognized. Well, I stayed on the city council for 14 years. Rancho Palos Verdes. Right. And on the city council, we did a lot of things. And one of the things about women in politics is we started PV Transit to get kids to school. We started recycling to put environmental issues before the community. And so I think that women look at issues, sort of everyday lifestyle issues, as important. And we did a lot of those when I was on the council. When I was on the city council, I also got elected to the County Transportation Commission, representing all the cities in the region. And so I was working with the big leaders in downtown Los Angeles, the supervisors, Mayor Tom Bradley at the time. And I found that the way I, as a woman, had to get my message across was to work really hard and really understand the issue. And when I left, they gave me a picture, which I have hanging in my garage, actually, that says, I just have a few more questions, because I always asked questions. I always, when I said this is how I was going to vote, people knew that I had done my homework. And I think as a woman, we had to work a little harder so that people knew that we weren't just playing around. And so I think it was very successful. I think it's surprising to me that my own daughter-in-laws don't realize how much we've opened the door. It wasn't that long ago, you know, it's like with blacks and the separate fountain. It wasn't that long ago that women had to fight for their ballot designation and other things. And so we're still making gains, we still have a long way to go. But I feel good that some of those early fights helped pave the way.